I think you hit the nail on the head. You talk about someone believing in you.
Yeah.
And all of the parents that are here and their children, their parents believe in them to the point where we've been working with them, preparing for this week and getting them ready to meet folks and meet yourself. And tell the parents, what advice would you think of off the top of your head to say, I think you need to do this for your young actor, for your family just starting out in the business. This is what I did wrong. This is what I did right. This is what I think would be a great advice for you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is to just monitor whether you're still having fun. Like if the passion is gone, if it seems like a total chore and your kid hates it, then take a break from it. Like there's nothing worse than seeing some poor kid being drug around and they're and as a fellow actor, I was also a producer on Kickin It. I started directing on Kickin It.
Talk about that too. I mean, that's something that's a big deal.
But I've had the opportunity to see how they put the shows together from all the different sides, whether it's sitting in on casting sessions, and you can tell immediately whether a kid wants to be there or not, or you can tell whether it's driven by the parent or whether it's a joint thing. And I've seen kids not get jobs, even though they're adorable and they're talented, because you could tell their heart really wasn't in it, or that you could tell that the parents were going to be really difficult. All of that stuff actually really plays into the success of,
That is good advice, because what Jason's talking about is he's referring to parents that kind of get in the way of their process for their child. So that's great advice for this week, guys. As much as you parents want to help your child along the way,
and tweak and nudge, that's all like good, and be supportive.
Yeah.
But if you're living your dream through your kid, that's usually not the best scenario. If it's the kid's dream and you're supporting that, then that's beautiful. Leo Howard, who's the main boy on Kickin It, he has two of the most amazing parents I've ever seen, and they were perfect at giving him room to experience Kickin It and to be an actor and grow and interact in this crazy environment, and then step in when it was time to be like a parent. And they always made sure that he had a really good perspective. If you get on a show, it's an amazing experience. Like, they treat you amazing. You get to meet lots of interesting people. It pays well. They feed you. Like, it's magic, right?
Yeah.
But it's not real life. Like, it's a magical thing you get to experience, and hopefully the magic lasts your whole life, and that's great. But it's not real life. And so if you can keep a sense of perspective about what's really important, the family values and whatever your faith is, and just if you can keep perspective, then it can be a really amazing experience. But if you lose sight of it and it becomes all about the Hollywood part of it, and I'm going to be famous and I'm going to get this and you owe me that, it ends up being like a really weird, bad experience. And I've seen kids just get chewed up by the whole experience.
Bad parents turn out bad kids. Great parents turn out great kids. So it's a parenting.
Yeah, and it really does impact whether your kid is marketable or not. I like I said, I've seen several kids that I was like, I would have loved to have seen that kid get a shot. But one of the things you're doing when you audition, as soon as you walk in the door for an audition, before you've ever even started the scene, you're auditioning. They are checking to see what your personality's like. They're checking to see what your energy's like. If they ask you, what is your favorite thing to do during the summer, that's all part of the evaluation process. And sometimes before you've ever even opened your mouth to say a word of dialogue, they know this kid has no shot. Or, I love this kid. I don't care what they do. I will work with them because they just seem like a really cool person. And a lot of times you're interviewing a kid and their family to be part of your family for the next 4 or 5 years. If you think about it in terms of you're going to spend all of that time with each other for years, all of that sort of evaluation becomes really important. If you're difficult right off the bat,
there's a courtship.
There is very much back and forth. So it's something really to be aware of. And even here, just be aware that you're like being watched. So I don't know if there's agents here that are watching classes, if there's casting people, if there's other actors, just be aware that they're absorbing everything that you're saying and doing. And if you seem like you're sort of difficult, it's like off-putting, and they'll respond to that. And if you seem like a genuinely like good person and you're fun and you have a good personality, sometimes that goes even farther than whatever that initial talent seems like it.
That is excellent
Yeah.
advice.